ladies and gentlemen, Reed Bigland.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the opening of the Los Angeles Auto Show and the return of one of the most historic automotive brands in the world, Alfa Romeo, the heart and soul of the automotive industry. I hope you enjoyed your breakfast this morning and a walk down Alfa Romeo memory lane with over 30 vintage Alfa Romeos on display, including the 1968 Tipo 33 Stradale that just left the stage a couple of moments ago. And if you didn't see it, I'm certain that you heard it. The timeless Stradale is proof positive that Alfa Romeo has always cared as much about the driver's senses as it does about statistics. The Stradale is one of the rarest Alfa Romeos in existence, valued at over $10 million. This Italian sports car has a mid-engine setup, a 0 to 60 time of under 5 seconds, a top speed of 160 miles per hour, and it weighs a mere 1,500 pounds. And as you only partially witnessed, a signature exhaust gargle at idle and a formidable roar when the throttle is wide open. And when you look back, you will notice that the great Alfas were known for primarily three things: state-of-the-art technology, incredible performance, and of course, drop-dead gorgeous Italian design and style. But the Alfa Romeo brand runs much deeper than just great products. It is a brand that has an incredibly rich history, filled with legendary racing triumphs and tragedies, colorful personalities, and notable superstitions. For example, you may have noticed a green four-leaf clover on several of the Alfa Romeo vehicles on display and wondered, what is that all about? Well, let me briefly take you back in time to tell you the story. Back to 1923 and this car, the aptly named 1923 Targa Florio RL. It was built to compete in one of the oldest and most famous racing events of all time, the Targa Florio, a dangerous and thrilling open-road endurance race held in the mountains of Sicily. The Alfa Romeo race team at the time was stacked. It boasted legendary drivers such as Antonio Ascari, Giulio Mazzari, Enzo Ferrari, and Ugo Savacci. And what was interesting was that leading up to the 1923 racing season, Alfa driver Ugo Savacci, aside from being incredibly superstitious, was a perennial second-place finisher, more often than not finishing behind one of his Alfa teammates. So going into the Targa Florio race in 1923, in an effort to banish his bad luck, the superstitious Savacci decided to paint a four-leaf clover on the side of his car for good luck. Sure enough, in his first race with the green four-leaf clover or Quadrifoglio on his car, Savacci won. However, a few weeks after Ugo's Targa Florio victory, he was at Italy's famous Monza racetrack testing a new Alfa Romeo car. But unfortunately, there was no time to paint his lucky clover on the car before hitting the track. And tragically, he crashed and lost his life. And a legend was born. You see, the four-leaf clover on Ugo's car was encased in a square box, while all future clovers were encased in a triangle, with the missing point symbolizing the loss of Ugo. And from that day forward, the four-leaf clover became the symbol of all Alfa Romeo race cars, and later the mark of Alfa Romeo's performance street vehicles, as a performance indicator and, of course, as a symbol of good luck. So with a little luck on its side and a fearsome stable of cars, Alfa Romeo began to dominate racing, amassing a racing resume that became the envy of the motorsports world. That included 5 world championships, 17 European championships, 4 24 hours of Le Mans, and many, many more. But Alfa Romeo didn't achieve racing success by simply dropping powerful engines under a striped hood. The art of speed, as perfected by Alfa Romeo, is the art of balance, of power versus weight. Through the years, Alfa Romeo developed many engineering and design innovations that resulted in lightweight but durable chassis systems for their race cars. And those innovations were shared with street cars that were not only fast, but agile, responsive, and perfectly balanced. And a great example of this is the vehicles that have marked Alfa Romeo's return to the North American marketplace, the Alfa Romeo 4C Coupe and 4C Spider. These vehicles boast an advanced technological setup consisting of a carbon fiber chassis, aluminum subframes, and mid-engine layout, resulting in a vehicle weighing under 2,500 pounds and a 0 to 60 time of just 4.1 seconds. Built in our Maserati workshop in Modena, Italy, the 4C is a purely Italian creation, which is clearly evident from its stunning proportions. Which brings me to today, and our newest vehicle that marks Alfa Romeo's return to the heart of the premium performance segment and brings the best of Alfa Romeo's past and present into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in North America, the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia.
If emotion made a car, pain would make it stronger. Loss would feed its need to win. Tears would fuel it. Passion would be its motor. If emotion made a car, the money would be a fleeting thought. Its color would be one of desire. Its sound would roar with ambition, but purr like a feral cat. If emotion made a car, lust would trigger its ignition. Envy would be reserved for passengers, while pride drives, leaving a trail of sin in its emotional wake. If emotion made a car, it would name her Giulia, and she'd steal your heart.
All right. Yeah. Bringing a little bit of Milan, Italy right here to LA. This isn't just a new car. This is an entirely new benchmark, built on a completely new platform with new engines that mark a new generation of Alfa Romeos. Giulia was designed from the ground up by a select group of engineers led by two senior managers from Ferrari. This vehicle is quintessentially Italian and unmistakably Alfa Romeo. And we are going to come out of the gate swinging with the iconic four-leaf clover version of the Giulia, the Quadrifoglio. This car will do the talking, and this is what it's going to say. A Ferrari-derived 24-valve, all-aluminum, bi-turbo, direct injection V6, producing a staggering 505 horsepower with a curb weight around 3,600 pounds. and the driver's choice of a manual or automatic transmission with paddle shifters. Now let's just stop right here and put these numbers into context. These numbers aren't just class-leading, they often surpass dedicated two-seater sports cars. And it starts with the most powerful engine in its class, generating 80 horsepower more than an M3 sedan and 75 horsepower more than an Audi R8, and putting it in a league once limited to high-performance, track-focused exotics. That is a staggering 174 horsepower per liter. That is true supercar territory, and more than any Porsche 911 offers, and up to 176 horsepower more than Mercedes with a similarly sized engine. Naturally, the most power coupled with lightweight results in an exceptional power-to-weight ratio. But all of these figures only matter if you can put the power to the ground, which the Giulia does, with a class-leading 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 191 miles per hour. But we didn't just leverage the Ferrari engineers for straight-line performance. We also wanted to create a sedan that performed like a two-seater sports car on the track. So we took the Giulia Quadrifoglio to one of the most demanding tracks in the world, the Nürburgring, a track with 154 turns over 12.9 miles, and where the fastest a four-door sedan has ever run was 7 minutes and 52 seconds in a $180,000 Porsche Panamera Turbo S. I'm pleased to tell you that the all-new Giulia Quadrifoglio clocked in at an outrageous 7 minutes and 39 seconds, making it the fastest four-door production vehicle ever around the Nürburgring. And not just by a tenth of a second, but by a full 13 seconds faster than the next four-door vehicle, and ahead of the likes of Lamborghini, McLaren, and the 911 GT3. Simply put, the all-new Giulia is the fastest, quickest, and most technologically advanced premium sedan in the world. But just like all the great Alfas, this vehicle will offer much more than just impressive statistics. Carbon fiber, magnesium, and aluminum are used extensively to reduce weight and deliver a near 50-50 weight distribution. Carbon fiber is used in the hood, drive shaft, roof, and front seat frames, and aluminum in the engine, suspension, doors, fenders, and brake calipers. Other advancements include torque vectoring that optimizes power distribution to the wheels, improving traction and control on all types of road surfaces. A carbon fiber active front aero splitter that dynamically balances and adjusts overall downforce of up to 220 pounds for added lateral grip in corners while retracting on straightaways to minimize air resistance. Active dampening suspension with a patented double wishbone front and Alfa Link rear. And Alfa DNA Pro that includes dynamic, natural, advanced efficiency, and race modes. And of course, Alfa Romeo has always been a great style icon, and the Giulia is no exception. It has been designed to saturate your senses, reaching into the past for inspiration, but always looking forward. On the interior, you will be treated to genuine carbon fiber accents, a Formula One-inspired steering wheel, high-performance seats, hand-stitched Italian leather, and an industry-first hidden 8.8-inch widescreen infotainment system. And while I am only showing you the cloverleaf model today, I can assure you that every single trim level of the all-new Giulia will have peerless performance, with class-leading power-to-weight ratios, 0 to 60 times that are faster than the competition, and class-leading fuel economy. In fact, the Giulia will start with an impressive 276 horsepower, delivering 0 to 60 in under 5.5 seconds. This is a car that defines what Alfa Romeo is all about: leading performance and technology wrapped up in a distinctive Italian design that puts the focus on an all-encompassing driving experience. At Alfa Romeo, we want people to once again become passionate about their cars, to enjoy the driving experience, and to appreciate their car's design and style. And if you think about it, many people have become reluctantly accustomed to vehicles that are all the same. Lots of comfort, lots of gadgets, but zero emotions. And candidly, one of the best things about Alfa Romeo is that it's Italian. Because while Germans make, Italians create. At Alfa Romeo, we believe that making and creating is not the same thing. At Alfa Romeo, we want people to be actively, physically, and emotionally engaged. At a time when the thrill of owning a luxury car seems to be fading, we believe that Alfa Romeo offers a welcomed alternative. Consumers want to be recognized for their place in the world, but they want to maintain their individuality. So they aspire for a prestigious brand, but not one that has become too common. In fact, most premium cars have become more accessible than ever in their addiction to volume. And some might say too accessible, with a few brands offering their premium models at around $30,000, which also happens to be the price of a well-equipped mass-market sedan. And with that, the air of exclusivity has been lost, which is why other brand owners rarely speak emotionally about their cars. But Alfa customers are more than emotional. They are passionate, all of which might help to explain why the loyalty rates for premium brands are so low. And the least loyal of the group, Gen X and millennials, who represent 40% of the overall premium market, have just 21% loyalty. The all-new Giulia Cloverleaf will enter production within 6 months, and look for it to have a starting price in the $70,000 range. And currently planned for production next summer, the Giulia, with a class-leading 276 horsepower and available all-wheel drive with a starting price around $40,000. So the opportunity is there, the commitment is there, and Alfa Romeo is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Giulia has arrived. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold for just a few moments.